discussion. We are back on our normal Wednesday evening. Okay, every once in a while we'll do a Saturday, but we decided we're gonna go back old school style. And trying to get my camera here sorted out here. Brother Al is in the place tonight.
Pancakes and sausage, folks.
Hydro XR12, aka Xavier. Happy belated birthday, my friend.
Thank you.
And we are going to be talking a lot of stuff tonight. Tonight's going to be a long show. Larry's going to be joining us. It's scheduled to join us soon. And let's get things started right out of the box, y'all. First of all, how's everybody doing?
I'm good.
Everybody's good. Sweet. All right.
Hey, hold on. Hey,
yep.
What's in that cup?
Say what now?
What's in the cup?
I don't want to get fined or anything, but you know.
Okay.
Corona. My Corona.
If we need to go back and edit that, you know, hey.
That's all good. I got my I have my cold beverage. My cactus cooler, as Fred Flintstone would say.
As Junior used to call it, daddy juice.
It's that Gatorade.
Yep, that's that aid. That's that sugar-free aid.
Hey, I know we're about to get into the show, but y'all remember that Gatorade is thirsty. First. Y'all remember that?
Old commercial, man.
I remember that.
Ooh,
Did y'all also know that Abe Sapien, the dude that played Abe Sapien, Doug Jones, was the Moon Man in the McDonald's commercial? Did y'all know that?
Wow.
So the one that sung the song?
Yeah, no, the one that was actually in the suit playing the piano with the big moon head. That was Doug Jones.
Did not know that.
That was like one of his first gigs.
Got to start somewhere.
Random stuff, y'all. You know, we delve into everything.
Everything.
All right, the elephant in the room, y'all. Big elephant in the room. Last week, we saw it come down the pipe. Sony, Marvel, Spider-Man is out. They said, no, we're not going to take the deal. So that nixed talks with the partnership that Sony and Marvel had. There was a major uproar about it last week in the comic community. There's still an uproar going on about it. You got people saying that this is on. You got people saying that this is off. I'm in the camp of this is probably going to get done down the line. Because, and I mentioned this to Al before, they're going to be putting a lot of work into Phase 4. And this is something that I think that they could probably come back down the line and revisit. I'm going to put a lot of work into Phase 4. Somebody need to mute the mic, mute the camera.
I did.
Okay, mute the YouTube. But I think this is something that can be revisited down the line. Is it a pressing issue? I mean, on the surface, yes. But I think this is something that they can tie up down the line. I just don't see this sticking much longer. Al, I know you got quite a lot to say about this, so we're going to turn it over to you, my friend, and let you get your say-so on this.
Well, thank you, everybody, for joining. What's up, Sean? Peace. Glad to see you in the building, man. I really ain't got a lot to say about it other than the fact that I'm disgusted. I'm disappointed in it. Seems like when Marvel and Disney started putting everything together, they get hit with this. I'm still not in the 100%. I know we had lunch early and X pontificated upon it, and he blessed me with some knowledge that I didn't know. But I'm still kind of confused, and hopefully he could explain it to the audience when it's his turn. But for the most part, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you believe in the good book say love money is the root of all evil. And it seems like that's basically what's going on here. I do hold out hope that eventually Disney and Sony will come to terms and work out a deal, which I'm hoping. I'm leaning towards that particular avenue that they are, because with the partnership between Disney and Sony, it actually benefited Sony very much. So it was very beneficial for them. And I think on down the road, it could even be better beneficial to that didn't even sound right, but it could be more beneficial to them, especially fleshing out the whole Spider-Man mythos along with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I'm hoping for the fans' sake. I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan, but I did enjoy Far From Home and Homecoming. And I enjoyed what's his face, Tom Holland, in the spot in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, I think he did a very good job. I think he could have continued to do a good job. And if it is a situation where Sony is looking for more money, I know y'all probably don't watch this channel because we only have a couple hundred people, but Sony, shame on you. Hopefully y'all could come to some type of not repass, but impasse. That's still the wrong word, but y'all can still come to some kind of conclusion or some kind of agreement with Marvel and Disney and make this ish happen. So that's pretty much all I got to say about it.
Excellent.
I am just, you know, like Al said, shame on Sony. I mean, I get it. You want all the proceeds from the box office and everything, but like I was telling them at lunch earlier, the box office is only good while it's in the movie theaters. I mean, after that, what do you get? I mean, if Disney has all the rights to the merchandise, they're winning from here on out. So why not try to find a compromise to where you can get them some money, get them some of the money from the box office. They're also going to chip in on making the movie instead of just producing it for you. So they're you're getting more profit because they're taking away some of the money that you would invest into making the movie. So I don't understand it. Like you sit here, you have 5 tries at a Spider-Man movie and never hit $1 billion. Sony, 5 times for a Spider-Man movie and never hit $1 billion. Disney, on the other hand, on their second movie, they didn't have to do a re-release of it or anything like that. Hit $1 billion. Second try, $1 billion. But because you so money hungry, you're like, oh, we hit $1 billion. We did it. We don't need y'all. Y'all, how stupid can you be? I mean, I know I'm only little old Xavier or Hydro XR12, you know what I'm saying? But I got more sense than that. If I go somewhere and somebody help me reach a certain milestone, I'm not gonna forget about them. I'm gonna help them out. I'm gonna look out for them the same way that they looked out for me. So shame on Sony. Disney gonna get theirs. Like I was telling them, um, I wouldn't be surprised if Disney slash Marvel go the route that they did with the X-Men and pretty much kill off Spider-Man in the comics, just so that Sony can hurt like Fox did. And then it's gonna sit back and fall back into their lap. It might not be as long as it did with Fox, but I really see that coming unless they work some kind of deal out and stop being so damn greedy.
All right, I was actually gonna go into that, and so let me say this too. If Sony's gonna pull this move, and I would say something, but this is a family show, so I'm not gonna be as rough as I normally would. I was here to say something, but I had to pull it back. I had to pull it back to reel it in.
Pull it back.
If they're going to pull this type of a move, then Sony needs to be putting out top caliber stuff. But we know that this is like Xavier said, when we talk about Fox, we know what we get with Fox. With this, I don't quite understand if you're getting that kind of money up front. And I know I said this to y'all off air, and I said it on air, is that these folks have got PlayStation 5s to pay for manufacturing. There's something that this money could be used for. I just don't see the sense in Sony walking away from a deal like this that's so lucrative. And basically, Marvel's doing all your dirty work for you. Marvel's doing all the heavy lifting. They're doing all the heavy lifting. And so now, Sony is going to have to dip into reserves to produce, make, find a director, and all this stuff on a movie that might flop. That's probably going to flop anyway because people are not going to go see it. And I've told people this throughout the week. I said, you know, if you really want to send a message to Sony, walk with your feet. Do not go watch these movies. Look at the last X-Men movie. Don't spend your money. Now I know the kids, the 8-year-olds, the 10, but I'm talking our age bracket. 20, 25, 20, 25 and above. Don't go see it. And force them into making that move. But like I said at the top of this, I really think this is probably gonna get worked out. And as remember, if we can go back when we were talking about the whole the merger, you remember that the whole the Fox properties being bought out, and I kept saying, remember when Fox walked away? You remember when I brought that up? Fox walked away, and I said, this is brinksmanship. This is I have a feeling this is the same exact thing. Now, what is their aim of this? I don't know, because I can't tell you based off of what's on the surface. Because I don't see anything outside of Miles Morales, the animated Miles Morales, that was good. I mean, y'all say Venom was good.
It was okay.
Okay, y'all say it was okay. Okay is not, that's not comfortable.
Okay is not $1 billion.
Yeah, it's now I'm saying you're not going. You can say Carnage is going to be in that next movie, and you're probably still going to make the same amount of money that you made on the last one on this one.
And you're probably going to need more than Andy Serkis.
You're going to scare more folks putting in Carnage, because if you botch that, then that's it with the entire franchise. We saw that.
This is what they're banking on with that. Not to cut you off, but on that subject, with them bringing in Andy Serkis to direct the movie, the king of mocap, they think that he's gonna be able to save that because he wouldn't allow them to do any kind of bad motion capture. But it's only so much you can do is direct and motion capture. You're not the one that's going in and digitally putting these things on there. You may be the king of mocap, but you're directing these people before it even hits the screen to edit anything. So you're gonna need more than that to get me on board with this. I'm sorry. And
yeah,
he ain't been a part of $1 billion movie, not that I know of.
I just think that if they're gonna put out a product, it has to be grade A. If you're going to walk away from a deal like this, and I'm just speaking in hypothetical, let's say they say we're gonna come out with a next Spider-Man movie XYZ, or I just say we're probably gonna get a Venom before we get Spider-Man. That next Venom movie flops hard, which we've seen that happen. We've seen this happen with the Spider-Man, with the products outside of the second one and the first one. But all these other ones after that, before Marvel touched it, they stunk. So right as of right now, you look like the Houston Oilers back in the day, before Warren Moon got there. And we all know
Bears remake.
Yeah, I mean, we all know how they look, and that's what Sony looks like. We know your track record. That's like, you remember when y'all went and got Joe Gill? Went back and got Joe Gills, man, to come out of retirement, or when the Raiders got that guy from the bed and breakfast to come back and coach.
Only thing is he did better than Spurrier.
Art Shell. I know TC watcher, he know what I'm talking about. Yeah, when they got Art Shell and brought him back, we've seen this before, so we know how this is gonna play out. Sony, I really hope that my theory is correct, that they're playing brinksmanship, that Marvel will come back, they'll say, okay, we'll give you more, or we'll just pay you. Here's $2 billion and get out of there. So, I mean, I hope that's the way it plays out. But as of right now, man, I tell you, boy, Sony is woo. This is a very strange move from Sony. Go ahead, Al.
Apparently, it seems to me that Sony is okay with making money in mediocrity. Because if you look at it, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, both of the Spider-Man movies that were partnered with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, both of those movies outshone the 5 Spider-Man movies. And I mean, to this day, I still think the best in reference to the magnum opus that Sony put out was the second Spider-Man movie with Dr. Octopus. I still think that's the best Spider-Man movie, even with the MCU movies. But I only say that because Alfred Molina played the hell out of Dr. Octopus.
I was just gonna say he was the reason that movie was great because it wasn't Tobey Maguire or Kirsten Dunst.
Now
You know what
it
I'm
wasn't
saying?
Kirsten Dunst, but even with Tobey Maguire, I mean, it seems like Molina's performance actually pushed Maguire into being a better performer. That's to me. But
I get that, but he was still not good.
I mean, he did what he could with what he had. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
So,
that man was 80 years old. He should have did better. Sorry.
hey,
He
man,
was,
but you
he
know,
was the same age as Melina. I ain't trying to hear that.
but I mean, needless to say, I mean, I just think that, um, Sony, if everything that's being said is true, Sony is cutting their nose off to spite their face. And at the end of the day, Sony's not the only entity that's going to suffer, but the fans are going to suffer too, because you're going to put out a subpar product. You're going to put out a Spider-Man with a metallic rhino and an exoskeleton suit and all that old crazy crap. They're going to bring back Jamie Foxx, and he gonna have dreads this time. I mean, some stupid stuff. But I mean, I'm hoping that they can bring it back and come to some kind of agreement. But yeah, I just see them actually operating from this point forward in mediocrity, because they know, you put Spider-Man on it, kids gonna want to go see it. Preteens gonna want to go see it. Super diehard Spider-Man fans gonna go see it. But do you really want that? Do you want to put out subpar movies, or do you want to put out high quality movies that's gonna bring people and put butts in seats? That's what you're looking for. You want $1 billion movies. You want $800 million movies worldwide. That's the kind of money you want, because you're making a profit. But what do I know? I mean, I'm
You
Go
know
ahead.
what, Al? You really touched on something, and I thought about when you were talking about it. What we want is what Marvel gave us, and seeing Spidey interact with other members of the MCU and Marvel. We don't want to see Spider-Man just interact with Spider-Man and just Mary Jane and watching Uncle Ben die every single movie and watching Mary Jane's love triangle out of sequence. You know what I mean? We don't want that. We want to see what we got in the MCU with him interacting with everybody. And
I
then
agree.
with with the acquisition of Fox, the sky was the limit. I mean, we had everything sitting right there for us, but Sony's they and they old genius minds are sitting here banking on people being so attached to Tom Holland as Peter Parker slash Spider Man that we're automatically gonna go see him in one of their movies. It's not gonna work like that.
I,
I don't care. Go ahead.
no, I was not to cut you off. I just really think this is gonna get deal. This deal is gonna get done. It just won't be right now. I think this is one of those long term get through phase for Marvel's gonna go back to the drawing board. Look, say, okay, well, we need him in this, we need him in that, we need him in this. You know what? Let's go ahead, cut the check. We're gonna make one last offer. Here it is. Boom. What's gonna change their mind? What's they gonna change their mind? This is why I said that next Venom movie is gonna tell you a lot, especially on Sony, because Sony's gonna have to. If that movie flops, which it probably will, we all know that you can't force feed Venom and Carnage.
Hey man, you know this. We should have seen that Sony's gonna do this when they announced, like, they want it out. Period. Let's just be honest and clear about that. First of all, they still have movies under contract for Tom Holland in the MCU. It's two more appearances, right? Two. But y'all don't remember the rumors not too long ago saying that if like Spider-Man would go back to Sony if Far From Home did not hit $1 billion. They were sitting there trying to find every single way they could to get Spider-Man back into it, so they had no intentions of renewing this contract. So I don't see them doing this because they didn't want it to happen. Because if they wanted it to happen, we wouldn't be talking about it right now. We'd have been talking about how they renewed the contract and got XYZ characters. We would have had a real Hydra Man and this, that, and the other. We would have got Sandman. We would have had all of the Rose Galleries. I mean, I know this is going to segue into something later on, but in the clip that we saw where Norman Osborn was supposed to be in another MCU movie, we could have had that in a real Spider-Man movie. But because they did this, we're not going to get that, and it's not going to make any sense. So Sony didn't want this to happen. I hate to disagree with you on that because I really wanted it to work, but everything that they've showed us leading up to this shows that they don't want it to work, and that's why it didn't.
Well, I mean, this is one of those things we just have to sit back and watch. You know, we say that. I know it sounds cliche as hell, but this is one of those things where we just have to sit back and watch and see what's going to happen. And I mean, Sony just they really this is very a weird move, just extremely weird. So, in the chat room, Stay Puff, 1983. Want to give a shout out to Stay Puff. I want to give a shout out to everybody that's in the chat room. Hey man, y'all are quiet over in that chat room, man. What are y'all thinking about this? What are y'all thoughts on this move by Sony? Do you like it? Which I probably should. You don't. Uh, do you think that this deal will get done down the line? Do you agree with Xavier that you don't see this happening? And are you kind of in between? So let us know what you think in the chat room. We'll give you a shout out here. We're gonna go ahead and start easing on. Al, anybody want to add anything else before we move on? All right. We're gonna go ahead and head over to the Eternals has casted the Black Knight. Xavier, who is the Black Knight in the Eternals, and what show is he on?
I can't remember his real name, but I'm just gonna say Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. Kit Kit
Harrington, I think.
Harington, yeah, there you go. I'm excited about it. I'm cool with it.
Let me tell you something. And I've said this maybe a couple of months ago. They're pulling out all the stops with the Eternals. I know Larry is somewhere. He's like, man, this is gonna suck the Eternal. You know, when you see this many A-list actors in a movie, this is on some Star Wars type stuff. They are loading it down. This is, and you know, Al, I got to thinking about something this evening. You do realize that these Eternal characters can be interchangeable throughout these movies, right?
Yeah.
So and you can guarantee that most of these guys and gals that are signed up for this ain't signed up for one movie.
Nope.
So I'm gonna tell y'all again who are watching the show. Go to your dollar bins, seek them out, find those Eternals books because you talk about a long term hold as far as spec goes. I'm telling you, it's the closer that movie gets, that the book's gonna start getting outrageous, outrageous, outrageous. I think this is a great move. I think this is a great move. I think this is I can see him playing the part. I think a lot of folks was trying to figure out what he was going to do because you know it had been rumored there he was coming over, but nobody knew exactly what he was going to do. And I think this role suits him perfectly.
He could have been a cool ass Craven the Hunter.
This is true. He could have very well been a cool Craven because he looked just like him. Yeah, that. But I think this is a perfect move for him. I mean, he's used to that kind of character. I mean, he pretty much give his feedback on what'll work. You know, take what he's learned uh, from GOT and bring it over. Fellas. Oh well, let's see here. We've got a shout out here. Let's get this shout out here. Stay Puff. Going back to what we just got through talking about, says I don't like the whole situation, but Sony owns the right 100%. There's nothing that Disney can do, and he's true. That he's correct. I mean, Sony.
Sony want to make some money. Disney can buy him out.
Well, that's what I told you. That's what I think.
If they really want some money, they messing with the wrong person because Disney show can fork it out.
I really think that's what's going to happen. They're going to say, all right, $3 billion, we'll take it. They're going to give them an offer where you can't walk in one of those. You can't, if you refuse it if you want. But like I told y'all at lunch day when we talked about this, somebody's losing their job behind this.
Oh yeah,
somebody is losing their jobs behind.
And it's not on Disney's end.
The Stanford says if Marvel puts out an Eternals hardcover, I'll buy it. And I think there is a. Is there a trade?
It should be a trade.
I think there is a trade. Let's get some reconnaissance on that.
Trade. Yeah.
Let's get some reconnaissance on that, Al. If you can pull it, you can take a look, see if that's true. While Al's doing that, Xavier, your thoughts on this, man? On Black Knight.
I mean, it's a perfect role for him now that we sit back and think about it. I mean, he's done it for 8 seasons. You know what I mean? All the trials and tribulations of that show. But this is what I really want to say about it. I really hate to keep going back to this Sony deal, but I mean, Disney's doing the right thing. You got them. They're bringing in these people that are gonna fill up the seats, and they're you don't think Game of Thrones had a huge following, and you wrong. And now they bringing these people from Game of Thrones over to Disney even more, bruh. I ain't no way I see this movie flopping at all. Plus, Feige's behind it, so I trust Feige and all his infinite wisdom and knowledge outside of Iron Man 3, but I still trust the process. There you go.
Larry is in the building. He has made it back from Wizard World.
Boy, hey, for a second, I was like, how did Luther get in here?
Yeah, that does look like Luther watching the show too. Probably watching the show. He looks just like him. Oh my God. Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing? Hey, Larry, before we got you on the panel, man, what's your thoughts on and we'll go back to the Black Knight. What's your thoughts on Sony in this Marvel deal, man?
Bad business. Very bad business. It's one of those things that even if you're making $1 billion off a movie and you're gonna give Marvel 30%, it's still more than you would make off a movie that you did on your own. I mean, none of the other Spider-Man movies have come close. They said this is the biggest movie that's ever made, period. Whole history of them making. So are you really going to just negate the fact that Marvel had something to do with that? I think that's bad business on their side. I understand, don't get me wrong, I understand the 50%. If you want to go back, if you say I'm not giving you anything, then all of a sudden you jump to 50%, I might be like, whoa, how you jump from 0 to half? So if you knock me down to 30%, okay, 30% in merchandising, I give you that.
That's what they walked away from.
Yeah.
The 50% was fake news. It was 70-30.
It was 70-30, okay.
Yeah, it was 70-30, and that's what they walked away from.
That's bad business, boy. Woo!
That's bad. I mean, and then Marvel also went to the table and said, we'll take the rest of your stuff and help you clean that up too. Venom,
right,
and all that. We'll help you clean all that up. Hey man, that
for pennies on the dollar.
Like I said, somebody is losing their job behind it. Somebody's losing their job behind this.
That's taking a whole lot of heat off of you. They're saying that, hey man, we're gonna give all that to you and let you do that. And we just gonna sit back and make money off of it.
And if it bombed, then I could see Sony be like, hey, look, let's get our stuff back right quick. Right. Let's fix it. But you ain't fixing nothing. So
but see, this is the thing, is that like I said, and I'm just going, you got two different scenarios. They end up coming back to the table, making a deal. And then let's say the worst case scenario, they decide to come out with a property and it tanks. Well, guess what just happened? You just lowered the value.
True statement.
So Marvel said, okay, well, I'll tell you what. Y'all want to do it? Okay, we'll do it. Okay, hey, you make a Spider-Man
I didn't think about that. Very true statement.
You make Spider-Man, you put Scorpion in it, you put Sub-Zero, you put Kano, you put all these folks in it. And if that's what you want to put in it, then that's fine. And we'll just give you less. We'll all, instead of the $1 billion, we'll give you 550 million, because that's what it's worth. I mean, I would love to see the numbers for that. What they did with Fox for X-Men, I would love to see that. I would have loved to see. I mean, that was 2 ham sandwiches in a sweet potato.
Talking about that $71.2 billion that they dropped.
Yeah, I mean, but you sit here,
a couple sandwiches right there, boy.
But see, this is like I told you. I really think this is gonna get done. It just will not get done right
Popeye
now.
Chicken sandwich.
Yeah, that's oh man, you know how that Popeyes mean. That's probably what they were holding out for. So y'all gonna bring some chicken sandwiches to the meat.
I mean, all BS aside though, had Sony not pulled these tomfooleries, that's how the movie theater would have been. That line would have been wrapped around the building, just like these folk trying to get these sandwiches, man.
This is true. This is true. Larry, we also talking about now we get back up to where we were. We're talking about the Black Knight, man. Well, what you think about the Black Knight casting?
The casting, I think, is spot on. Is it a character that people you got to go back and do some real history on that character. I mean, I don't think that's a character that people are just dying to see, but I think the casting is great.
Hey, but neither was Groot. Neither
There
was
you go.
Rocket
I was
Raccoon.
just finna say Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy, though, man, for what it is, I feel like this Guardians of the
Only
Galaxy
true
is-
connectors knew who they were.
right. But what I'm saying, what for what the movie is, though, the movie is comedic gold. And I mean, if you're gonna do something like that, you learn the characters because it's a funny movie. I don't know who Star-Lord is. You want to know Rocket Raccoon is hilarious. So you want to know what it is. But if you're trying to make characters that people don't know and they're serious, that's a little bit more, it's harder to kind of pull off.
I don't think it is, man, because I mean, Rocket Raccoon, they had the same deficit. They had the same deficit than the Eternals is gonna have. Like I said, for the average moviegoer, nobody knew who those characters were. I mean, on paper, Star-Lord is superiorly bland, but Chris Pratt.
Paper, but you gotta think about but you gotta think about the cinematic universe versus comic book readers.
Right.
Most of the people that went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy probably weren't people who were comic book readers. Most of them were probably people who latched onto the Marvel Cinematic Universe and just say, let's give them a chance, let's see what they put out.
But look at what they did with Iron Man. Iron Man was big, but he went MCU big.
Yeah, Iron Man 3 wasn't MCU big at all. I just wanted to
there you go, man.
And that was closer to the
Iron Man is Iron Man.
I just messed up.
Yeah, but Iron Man wasn't the biggest in Marvel. He had some big moments, but he wasn't the biggest in Marvel.
I think Iron Man was like it was a once again it was a throw at the wall and see what sticks, and I think it stuck, and they went from there. I don't think they intended Iron Man to really be the biggest thing out of there. I think they were probably gaming on Captain America more than Iron Man.
Well, I mean,
I can see that.
I mean, even I could think back to when Iron Man came out, and even when I saw the trailer, because at that time, Robert Downey Jr. man, you were like, man, this dude was like, wow, he was done. So when I saw him, I was like,
I don't even like Iron Man, but I was all for it.
Well, I kind of was like, oh no, man, Robert, and then when I saw that last trailer, the very last one, I said, okay, this I give this a shot. And when I saw it, I was like, yeah, this is really good, and that was it. Now that second one, I had some issues with that, but
Iron
Man movies, they had a steady decline,
but to add on to what Larry said, as far as the perfect casting, they had the perfect casting with Iron Man, so it might be the next thing. I ain't saying he's gonna be as big as Iron Man, but you get the right person in the right role, you get the greatest thing ever. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? Go ahead, Al.
I think Iron Man. I mean, since we're on the subject, I honestly think Iron Man was one of those what you call them things, the test market. It was one of them things where they basically just okay. So we got all these characters, even without the X-Men and Fantastic Four. Who we gonna use first? Because they could have easily came out with Captain America.
Yeah,
they could have easily came out with Thor, but I think they wanted to try to test the waters with Iron Man. And I mean, all things considered, Robert Downey. The way I look at it, and I might be totally off the mark, but Marvel Cinematic Studios, the Marvel Studios, probably looking at it from, we got Robert Downey Jr. We paid him $200,000. I mean, we're gonna spend $100 million. If we make we'll break even. I mean, what do we have to lose? You know what I'm saying? It actually banked for him, and I think more or less, Iron Man. I mean, it's the progenitor of the MCU, but it actually, it actually brought forth to life everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, when you look at it, the whole purpose of it served multiple purposes to see how audiences would actually go for it. And then number two, it was just a springboard to bring everything else. I mean, I'm reminded of the first Iron Man shoot. What was it? The first Iron Man, the second Iron Man, when Nick Fury came and talked to Tony Stark at his house. Yeah, and he had the little thing up, and the map up, and
it was the
Wakanda. Right, and he had Wakanda on the map. You know what I'm saying? And then some 7-8 years later, here we are.
Well, the question about all that is, honestly, do you really think that this was carefully plotted out from Iron Man, or do you think it was Iron Man and then let's see where everything else goes?
I think
it
at
was.
first, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was gonna say I think it was based off of Iron Man because we're failing to mention that the first Iron Man was not Marvel or Disney. It was Paramount.
You know,
You know what I'm saying? So they were playing with their money and it blew up and they were able to get the character from then on. So that's why I'm saying you get a perfect casting like that and like we have right now with the with Kit, dude, we can keep going with it. You know what I'm saying? That's why once again it's gonna leave back to Sony being stupid.
and I agree with X in that respect. That when you look at the whole thing, I think that first movie was like, okay, like I said, we test the waters. That was a good eye because I forgot the Paramount was behind it. But then after the success of it, they decided, okay, we gonna move forward. At the end of Iron Man, what two? When Thunderbolt Ross was in one of them, money, I can't remember which one. But anyway, yeah, we know the story. But I think with the Eternals, man, I think that's gonna have the similar effect as Iron Man. Because I mean, with the Eternals, that opens up a whole can of worms that they could actually bring in. I keep saying this, but the Celestials, the other cosmic beings like the Living Tribunal and all them. So I mean, as far as it goes, with the casting that they've done for this movie, the Eternals movie, they have pulled out all the stops. So they are expecting for this next phase to put all their proverbial eggs in this one basket. The Eternals are getting touted more than any other phase 4 movie that's coming out. I mean, the buzz behind this movie, they're trying to make the Eternals something of the
Star
X-Men,
Wars.
Star Wars. So I mean, as far as it goes, I think it has promise. I'm still trying to figure out though. Black Knight, I don't recall him having any kind of interaction with the Eternals.
Yeah.
They'll make it work some kind of way. So
yeah, they'll figure it out.
Because Black Knight was an Avenger for a minute.
Yeah,
for a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. At least 3. At least I know three I can think of right offhand. We're gonna go ahead and move on here. We're gonna go into something. I'm gonna make some adjustments here to the rundown. We're gonna go ahead and tap into this. I thought this would be interesting, and this is kind of gonna be a nice little spec combo for everybody. Bleeding Cool is reporting that Alpha Flight makes their debut with Marvel Legends Amazon exclusive. Now, this is a signal. If you have watched this show, then you heard us talk about Alpha Flight on more than one occasion. If you go back 2 shows, we talked. It may even be last show. I can't remember. We talked about Alpha Flight, and here you are. Now you've got toys coming out of Alpha Flight. Now Now outside of Al, who made that request? This is letting people know that something is in the pipeline. When you start seeing toys, obscure like this just pop out. I mean, yeah, I think it's a Canadian exclusive, but still, it's Alpha Flight. So that lets me know that it is in Marvel sites. That this is something, whether it's a Disney Plus, which we'll get into that in a little bit, or on the big screen, or Phase 5, whatever. They're planting the seed. They're planting the seed right now that something is going to get done with Alpha Flight. Al, this is your baby, so I'm going to let you have this one here, my friend.
I mean, they've released various Alpha Flight toys in the past, but one thing about Marvel Comics, and Larry, I mean, he could attest to this. Anytime Marvel gets ready to do something with anybody, it's a blitz. When they announced Blade, they came out with a one-shot, Blade and Wolverine. They came out, they got, I think McFarlane Toys is doing like a Blade action figure or something like that. All this buzz that comes around, it's not by happenstance. And I honestly believe, even though it is a Canadian exclusive, which I'm gonna see if I can get them. Yeah, I think Marvel at some point they're gonna bring them out. I mean, we saw down at Wheels today that Power Pack book. I don't know that. I don't even think that was an actual facsimile like the ones they've been doing. I think that was a brand new.
That's a brand new Power Pack.
Yeah, brand new story. I think with the wheels in motion, with this Disney Plus and all the other stuff that we're gonna talk about shortly, I think what they're trying to do, and it's a good marketing ploy. Like I said, they put stuff out there to see if it sticks, and if it sticks, then they'll run with it. So I think eventually you're probably going to see more and more stuff. And being that they're building up the content for the Disney Plus channel, if we don't see Alpha Flight on that particular streaming service, I have to see them on the big screen. Personally, I feel like they would be better off on the big screen because, like I said, that could lead eventually to X-Men. But I mean, I don't think we will see Alpha Flight no time soon. Probably be around the time they drop X-Men Phase 5, 6, somewhere around there, So, but yeah, you see that. I mean, what, about a month or two ago, they dropped the facsimile of Alpha Flight #1. So I mean, this Marvel is pretty much, when it comes down to it. I mean, nowadays, their marketing strategy is basically just throw it out there to see what sticks. And on another note, these facsimiles, man, I'm like, that was a brilliant idea in my opinion because they're very nicely done, man. I bought 2 copies of X-Men 1 giant size, which some point, we do another giveaway, I'm gonna get that one away. But yeah, I think Alpha Flight it's gonna hold some kind of stake in the future of either the Disney Plus or the MCU. And then one other thing to note, and I'm done, that was actually the pre-Carol Danvers Alpha Flight team. So that was like the original Alpha Flight team. Yeah. So yeah, I think they're gonna be doing something with them soon. So
all right, Larry, anything you want to throw in there?
Alpha Flight, man, I wasn't a huge fan of Alpha Flight, but I could definitely see them being a I don't grade X-Men, but I would he finna get me for this one too, but I would probably rather see the Carol Danvers Alpha Flight on the big screen versus the original Alpha Flight.
Of course you would. Of course you would.
That's just me though. You got America, Captain Marvel.
Hey man, just hold tight. We're going into Carol Danvers in just a second. Just hold tight.
But yeah, I would probably rather see that team, but especially since I think they could go there a little bit easier than they could, since you already got Carol Danvers in the MCU. But I don't think it'll be bad either way.
X.
I want to see the original group just because I want them to actually tie in Wolverine.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
That's just my opinion on it. Tie him in, hoping that Universal will be smart and give their rights of the Hulk over to Marvel so that we can get a 181 on the big screen. You know what I'm saying? But that's real wishful thinking right there. But
that'd be an excellent way to bring him in.
Hey, I'm just a little old person in Macon, Georgia. Y'all want ideas? Come see me. I got plenty of them.
All right.
I just want to see Wendigo and Sasquatch on the big screen. That's what I want to see. So
I take them over this whack behind Abomination we got. I like Polanski better than Abomination. I'm sorry.
That is an abomination. Abomination is an abomination.
You're right. There you go. Best part of that whole movie, he kicked him to the tree.
All right, so Larry said he wants Carol Danvers. Well, Larry's going to get Carol Danvers. As of today, it was reported that there is an A-Force movie in development that will include Captain Marvel and Jane Foster, which I knew that was coming. I mean, I mean, that was almost speculated right after the last movie. And you know that scene where all the women were fighting. That was kind of
Right.
It was speculated. It was
it was right
heavily
there in front of your
implied.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it was right there in front of your face if you paid attention, and that was gonna happen. It was just something that I didn't think to cover because I thought most people would have actually saw it in the movie. Like they gave it to you right there.
For them not to film that scene together,
Yeah.
they showed pieced it together perfectly and put it right there in front of us.
And I know somebody's gonna say, "Well, man, we want to see that, man." I was like, "It's an actual book. This isn't something they're just making up." So for somebody that goes, "Oh man, this is the SJW stuff," now, I have.
Why wouldn't you want to see that?
Trust me. Now I have my thoughts on some of this SJW stuff, but this is something I wouldn't mind seeing. I wouldn't actually mind seeing this. Now Captain Marvel, you know, but she's gonna be heavy. She's gonna be used heavily, so
she was as stiff as Forrest Gump.
Well, everybody. So we'll give her a shot on this. I think she'll be fine on this one. She's gonna probably loosen up. But we knew that they were gonna go. We knew that Carol Danvers was gonna be used throughout all these movies. How many movies did they say they signed her up for?
What? 7, wasn't it?
7?
Yeah, it was like 7.
So we had what did we have? 3 now?
Yeah, this would be the third
2.
one.
Yeah.
No.
Because she was in Captain Marvel and
after
she was in Captain Marvel and Endgame. That was it.
Yeah. So I mean, she's gonna be around for a while. They plan on using her, and I just want to see who. I mean, this is there was a big spike in America books the last 2 days. I don't know if anybody caught that or not.
I tried to tell you.
And Larry, you already know I'm going to go with this, Larry. Is they may even bring her into this. Go ahead, Al.
Well, I read. I mean, you got so many people with dirt sheets out there. You don't know what's real and what's not. But I read that that they were looking for America Ferrera more or less with the Ultimates. Now, it's a rumor that they're working on an Ultimates because some time ago, I can't remember his name, but it's this actor that was looking to play the role of Adam Brashear, Blue Marvel. So ain't no man, I'm telling you right now, it's like even with Spider-Man dipping, I mean, they got a lot of things. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man, if they do the Ultimates, I'm gonna be kind of excited about that because that book that Al Ewing did, the guy that's writing Immortal Hulk, that was a pretty good book during the time. I don't have all of them. I need to get the rest of them in that run. But man, that's when he actually turned Galactus into a good guy. Surprisingly, man, that was a good book. I mean, it had Photon, it had America in it. It had Black Panther was a member, Blue Marvel. I mean, it was a powerhouse team. But I mean, as far as it goes, yeah, I mean America. But then going back to Carol Danvers, I told y'all earlier that it was a rumor that Michael Korvac was supposed to be rumored to be the next villain along with Norman Osborn. How that's possible, I don't know, but I could actually see Michael Korvac being a villain of Carol Danvers. So, but anyway,
Larry.
Y'all about America for a minute. He speculated, like Al said, that all Kevin Feige said was that it was going to be a new Avengers team, and they never really said what Avengers team there was going to be. So a lot of people speculating the Dark Avengers. Some people say it's the Ultimates. They have also said some things about the Ultimate Universe. So that'd be a good way to bridge her in. So we'll wait and see.
X.
Hey, man. My bad. Hey, y'all funny, but they gonna have. I mean, anything better than the first one. So I'm cool. I'm cool with it.
They do it. I will agree. They got room for improvement. I don't care how much you say how great that movie is, Larry.
If she got rhythm in this movie, it'll be a great movie, in my opinion.
I say it was on point with all the other origin movies. Those origin movies were not. Captain America: The First Avenger was not great. Thor was not great.
I disagree.
Thor: The Dark World definitely was not. That's his second movie, and it definitely wasn't great. So
Yeah,
I mean,
I will agree with Thor, but I disagree that Captain America.
Captain America was a good movie, man.
it was
Yeah.
okay.
That's like the best one.
Man,
It was
did
okay.
you like Wonder Woman?
Yeah, Wonder Woman
It
was
was
a
the
great
same movie. It
No.
was the same movie.
For the most part.
It was the same as that movie. So
No.
I ain't even trying to hear that last
Not
time.
even close. Wonder Woman had way more action in it than Captain America, the first Avenger. The first Avenger was telling his story, man, from when he first met Bucky and all that other stuff. He got the serum.
It was the same. So the only difference between Wonder Woman and Captain America is that she got some trim and he didn't.
Hey, with
That was the
anybody,
only difference.
He got some trim.
what was the better movie? Wonder Woman or First Avenger, please. There's
I'm
not
still gonna go with Captain America.
close.
And it came out years before Wonder Woman, man.
That's
Come
why
on,
you
bruh.
can't compare them. That's
It was
not
just-
even close.
It's the same movie.
Okay, X.
All they did was cut Cap Dick off and tuck it in. Come on, bruh.
Come on, man.
Nipped up.
Exactly.
Not even close.
All right. Next up, Xavier, this is for you, brother. Todd Phillips is already talking about a Joker sequel.
Man, damn this.
That's why I waited. That's why.
What are they trying to do?
Hey,
What I see, man.
What are they
go
trying
ahead.
to do?
Hey, tell them why you're mad, Xavier. Go ahead, Doc. Go ahead. It's all you, Doc.
First of
Tell them
all,
why you're mad, champ. Tell
First
them,
of all, how are they gonna go with a sequel? Like I'm gonna tap into what's my boy name Joaquin Phoenix. He don't even sign on to do franchise, but you want to make a franchise out of this movie that doesn't take place in any of the DC lore. You know what I'm saying? It's not a Joker movie. Boy, I almost got so X-rated just then, but it's not a true DC movie. You done already made all these stupid changes that don't make any sense just to promote this man being the Joker. Man, come on, bro. And let's be real. You just because they already planned to do a sequel don't mean it's gonna be great. They had already planned to do a sequel to Venom before Venom even hit the box office, before they signed Andy Serkis to be the director of Part 2 and this god awful post credit scene that we got with Woody Harrelson. They will be carnage. Man, come on. Next.
I mean,
Next.
I got
If
one.
it's
I got
not the
one
man
question.
who laughs, then ain't no point. And if it is the man who laughs, there's no point for a sequel.
No, I don't need the Batman who laughs, man. They'll miss
No,
that.
not the Batman who laughs, the man who laughs.
Oh,
The inspiration for
He
the
talking
Joker.
Thor. He talking Thor.
Yeah,
gotcha.
My
hold
thing
on.
is, we hadn't seen one red nickel come in yet. We don't even know. You don't know how this is even gonna perform at the box office.
If it ain't this, there's no point.
I'm pretty sure they got projections as to what they think it's going to do.
If it ain't this, there's no point.
Hey man, they got projections on what Dolomite, that movie that Eddie Murphy did. That don't necessarily mean it's gonna be successful, you know what I'm saying? So,
But what I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure they got a gauge of what they want to make and how much they think it'll make.
They can gauge all they want.
I'm like Stay Puft though, man. I mean, the movie's not out yet, and I mean it's critically acclaimed so far, for what I've seen. So,
Oh my! So is half of all the other movies. Every time a movie come out in 2019, this is the greatest movie
I'll
in
tell you what.
2019
I'll
so
tell you
far.
what.
Man,
I'm be honest with you, because I got to report this stuff anyway. Probably won't go see it, but I'm not expecting. It's almost like I'm just walking in. I'm going to hit the same way I walked in to see Wolverine. It's the same way I'm going to walk in.
That's the best way to actually walk into it.
Are you expecting to see something like this right here?
No. I'm expecting to see a guy walk around with a Price is Right suit on.
And that's what we're getting.
I mean, that's what I expect. I'm not expecting much out of it.
Man, I ain't taking nothing away from Joaquin Phoenix. He's definitely one of my top 10 actors. You know what I'm saying? But
no doubt,
this ain't got nothing to do with it, man.
It's BS. Go ahead and say it. It's BS, man.
It's garbage, man. It's garbage.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't see where they're going with this movie.
You know, But
Go ahead. I mean, Al. Go ahead.
You know what? I mean, we say that, but a lot of people was tripping off of Heath Ledger, and he pulled off, in my opinion, a very, very good performance of the Joker. Man, but then again, I'm not a Batman fan. Like
Is Larry alive?
Yeah, what you talking about?
Boy, you still is all I know. That
like you got caught up in a Wi-Fi
boy,
or something.
I thought he was stuck.
Yeah.
But I'm just listening.
But I'm not a fan like X is. So I mean, that's like, with me and Larry, it's an X-Men thing. And I think I'm a little bit more critical than Larry. Larry's more passive when it comes down to certain things. But yeah, I mean it could be a great movie, but I guess time will tell.
It could be a wonderful movie. It's just not a good Joker movie. I have zero like. Will it be a good movie? I know he's gonna do a great job in his portrayal of whatever character he's portraying, but it ain't a Joker.
I mean,
I agree with you totally on that. I think the casting that they pulled off and everything, I think that it could work as a movie, but would it be a true Joker movie? You're probably correct.
How do you say this is a standalone movie that has nothing to do with the mythos, but use the same people, and then turn around and try to make a sequel for it? Isn't that an oxymoron?
It is kind of a conundrum.
Isn't that a one shot with a part 2 or a second volume?
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
All right, next up. Word on the street. Marvel is canceling Punisher, Invaders, and Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Larry, you said Marvel is in the money business. What's going on here, brother?
Oh, Punisher already they already talked about it's gonna be a new Punisher with a new number one. Punisher's not going anywhere. The Invaders, let's be honest, who thought the Invaders was gonna stay alone for 50 issues?
What I said?
I didn't.
Whoever brought it up in the first place.
So and Neighborhood Spider, it's 20 Spider-Man books on the shelves. So we could do without one.
Yeah, I mean, what do we got going on right now, Larry? We got what? Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Superior Spider-Man, Spider-Man Life Story. I mean, I wanted this.
Spider-Man shops at Kroger.
Spider-Man, yeah. Spider-Man eats Popeye's chicken sandwich. we got
with no line. He ain't had to wait in line.
Yeah, he just
express.
Yep, come on right in and walked out.
Thwip.
But this goes back to what we talked about last year or earlier this year. Is Marvel putting out these just so many books, man, that really don't need to go. I mean, the infamous rant. I mean, do we need an Invaders book? I mean, who?
I think the Invaders book served a purpose. I just don't think it was meant to stay. I don't think it was meant to stay 50 issues. I think it did what it's supposed to do. Like it tied into the little Carnage thing.
None of their books are gonna be 50 issues anymore.
Yeah, I doubt we'll see.
It serves a different purpose and something totally different. So I mean, I didn't see it as a long-standing book anyway. I mean, none of these books I think nowadays are long-standing books. They serve their purpose, they time into a story, and they go on to the next. They go on to the next phase.
I agree completely with what State Puff said, and that's what I think a lot of these books should be. They should be miniseries instead of putting these jokers in runs.
But
go ahead,
that's what they are.
But what I'm saying, they used to advise that, like, when you got a miniseries back in the 80s and 90s, it'd say at the top of the book, number 1 of 8 in a limited series. A lot of these books, though, they give you the impression that they're gonna be. They give you the impression that they're gonna be a series, but then when they get to a point to where the book is not selling, then all of a sudden that's when they say, okay, it was a limited series. No, it wasn't. You put this book out with the intention of it running for how long you ran it. and then it ran its course. You pulled the plug, and now it's a wrap.
Yeah, this. You know, it's just like Marvel. It's like they, like you said, they'll sell you this stuff, and then at the end, it's kind of reiterating what you just said. Oh no, no, we're gonna do away with this, and then 7 months later, the same character out with another book, and I had to, I have to watch myself, man, because the YouTube monitor. I almost let it rip again. I had to catch myself.
Doo doo.
Yep, same old doo doo. And a lot of these characters, man,
Malarkey.
Yeah, malarkey. Yeah, a lot of these characters, man. I mean, they need to be in groups anyway, and they're relevant groups. I mean, I just don't see. I just like Larry said, the Invaders, man. That's a book that they could have kept that. They could have pulled that back up the horse's butt. Larry, do you want to add anything else to that?
Oh, like I say, I think, man, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is one of those books that you try to reach certain audiences. Like you had Amazing Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows. That was another one of those books that I think they were trying to reach somebody else. You had Spinneroo, or Spinnerette, I say, and it was showing a Spider-Man in the future. But I think 2099 is coming back in next month, or was it October?
That we think it's coming back.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't be surprised if they pull all of them Spider-Man titles.
Nah,
Spite. Hey,
no.
What happened to X-Men? What happened to X-Men?
But they haven't owned Spider-Man in forever, and Spider-Man books were consistently coming out.
No, they Sony don't own the rights to Spider-Man comics.
Nah.
Sony don't own the rights to Spider-Man comic books.
No, I said no. But I'm saying it's never been that way. So I mean, even when Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was out, Spider-Man consistently had books coming out.
And they can kill that right now. That
ain't gonna happen. Spider-Man is Marvel's true bread and butter at the end of the day. And that's their main character. So you can't do that to Spider-Man.
Well, see, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was at a different time. See, Marvel Cinematic Studio won the run.
Exactly.
And Sony
exactly.
Then pimp slap Disney in the face, and now we
exactly
because we want more money.
But also, regardless,
Tobey Maguire's biggest competition with X-Men.
Nothing happened to the X-Men. The X-Men went nowhere. Well, who thinks the X-Men went somewhere?
They went to the back of the cabinet.
And technically, nothing's changed. All they did was put Jonathan Hickman on writing and say, okay, we're going to reboot the time. Nothing has changed about the X-Men.
I'm talking about when the Humans was on.
Yeah, they were pushing the Humans way harder than X-Men.
They did not. They did not. The Inhumans came along for a small bit. Why can't people share the stage? You know what I'm saying? Just because they pushed somebody else doesn't mean that they left somebody else. They pushed.
The hell if they didn't.
Because the Inhumans are inferior. That's why.
Bro, Uncanny was still around. X-Men Blue was still around. X-Men Gold was still around. X-Men Red was still around.
X-Men Blue wasn't around
Extraordinary.
At that point. X-Men Blue was not around at that point. That was afterwards.
Come on, it was 6 or 7
X-Men Blue, Gold, Red, Yellow, all of the rainbows were
not
after that happened.
Cable, Deadpool, X-Force. The X-Men didn't go anywhere.
Bruh. X-Men Blue came out right when we first started doing the show.
I got 36 issues of X-Men Blue right here. That's at least, and that wasn't a weekly book.
They will bring. Oh my God, you right. It was every other week because when they brought out Blue, the next week after that they brought out Red. Then they went back to Gold. Then they went to Blue. Then Red to Gold. And come on, bro.
At no point in time when there was a shortage of X-Men books, there was at no point in time when there was a shortage of X-Men books.
When you got 700 books, you can't say there's a shortage of them. They just weren't producing them like they used to be.
That's my point.
They were not producing them the way. We could have easily been over 1,000 with them if they wouldn't have put them on the back burner. I don't follow X-Men books like that, but I know that.
Put them on the back burner. If Uncanny was still being produced, how would they still? The numbers kept going. Nothing changed. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Uncanny was still being produced. We had what 700 hours, 600 and something. There would be nowhere near 1,000 books, even if you kept the numbering. That's all they did was go back and show you what the numbering would be. Nothing changed.
Kumbaya.
I'm just saying.
Hey, let them battle. Let them battle.
Oh, my Lord.
Tonight we dine in hell.
They tried to push the Inhumans to see if two people could share the spotlight. The Inhumans didn't make it. Okay, Fox gets the rights back to X-Men.
Inhuman didn't make it because of the show.
That
show. That's the only reason it didn't make it.
Wait, you put Jonathan Hickman on the X-Men run that we still don't know what's gonna happen after the Powers of X and House of X. It could very well be underwhelming. And then what we gonna say? Oh, the X-Men gone. Well, it's the times have changed. The X-Men they weren't as good as they were before. Other titles will come out that were better.
But it's not their fault, though.
Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that, Larry? Who makes both of those comics? Who makes both of those comics, Larry? Tell me who makes those books.
Well, let me ask you.
Stop running and answer the question. Who makes the books? Who makes the book? Marvel made both of those titles. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
So they put X-Men on the back burner, not bringing out good, consistent quality stuff to try to push the Inhumans, like I said.
But okay, so you telling me the Inhumans product was better than the X-Men product?
At that point, yes.
It was not. The Inhuman product.
At that point, yes. Oh my God.
Let me ask this.
Oh my God. Because you never had the whole collection of them.
Hey, brother, hold on.
They sat there and stopped making one point just to go on something else.
Hey, hold on just a second. Al, what's your take on this, brother?
Hey, man, I plead the fifth.
Oh, my boy is going straight Caleb in this thing.
And Larry
they didn't push one book to the back to make room for another. They brought Inhumans up. I mean, is it hard to do that? I mean, you give somebody a little bit more shine. Okay, you give Inhumans a book. You actually piggyback off the X-Men to get them shine, and you put X-Men versus Inhumans. That's the only way you're gonna get them shine is to put them up against another group. What you gonna say? Inhumans versus Alpha Flight? I mean, what you gonna get? I'm just saying, bro. You can sleep all you want up there.
Oh, I'm not asleep. I'm looking at you. Nah, trust me, I'm not asleep. You already said the same thing that I said, but it's okay.
The way I see it, man, I ain't gonna lie. I felt some kind of way about it. I felt like the Humans was Roman Reigns, and they were just pushing the Inhumans down everybody's throat, and it wasn't working. Yeah, I was upset. But I mean,
why would you say that? What made you think that they pushed the Inhumans over the X-Men? Because they gave them a whack. Because they gave them a whack little IMAX show.
Well, not only that, but I mean, during that particular time, you know, they had the Uncanny Humans, which, by the way, I actually gave it an opportunity.
But you know, that was always a title, right?
Yeah.
You go back in the day, they were Uncanny too.
Right. But what I'm saying, though, is that I gave that particular title the opportunity because, okay, Marvel is pushing Inhumans, so let me see what it's all about. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, it was underwhelming. But I had a little bias going into it because I was looking for X-Men, which at the time I was still collecting Extraordinary X-Men, you know. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, it was just a bias with me thinking, okay, they just pushing X-Men to the side. They pushed them in the back of the cupboard where you got them generic pork and beans that you know you ain't gonna eat.
With no nasty old Vienna sausages.
When you had Alpha Flight back in the day, did you feel they were pushing X-Men to the back to push Alpha Flight?
No, sardines.
No, because the reason why is because the books, in my opinion, the books back then were not. It wasn't meant to usurp another title. Basically, what I mean by that, they used X-Men to springboard Alpha Flight, right? Mm-hmm. And then they brought Alpha Flight in their own book. And for the most part, Alpha Flight was moderately successful because it ran for 147 issues before it was canceled. So it had moderate success. The thing of it is that, and you know this, everybody on the panel should know this to be true. X-Men were Marvel's bread and butter for years, and see, that was my mentality going into the whole scenario. Like, you have this group that the Marvel pretty much depended upon to be successful for a long time, and all of a sudden, the book's not selling well. But in my opinion, it had a lot to do with the writers. It had a lot to do with the direction that they were taking certain characters, and certain plot lines and storylines were being dropped and started over for no particular reason. So, I mean, when it comes down to it, I felt some kind of way, because with the success the X-Men had for so long, and then it's like, okay, so I got a car and this car is reliable, but the minute it don't crank up when I turn it, then I'm just gonna put it in the junkyard. That's how I saw it. Now that might not how it went down.
Let me ask, how long has X-Men been down? Would you say X-Men was up at Onslaught? Would you say X-Men was up at what point would you say X-Men went down? It wasn't recently. This is not a trend that just happened when the Inhumans were pushed. The X-Men haven't been what you wanted them to be since what issue would you say? Honestly, let's be honest.
I would have to say around the time right after Necrosha came out.
Right, that's early 2000s, man. You know what I'm saying? So this is nothing new. So just because a crew comes up, what about the Avengers? The Avengers weren't always an A-list team, and all of a sudden you bring them into the MCU, and all of a sudden did the Avengers cause the X-Men to go down? It's too many teams to say that you push the X-Men to Inhumans. That's just my take on it. And like I said, there was no shortage of X-Men books. You always had, whether it be X-Force, Cable and X-Force, or Uncanny X-Force. Let me look around and see. It's too many of the Astonishing X-Men, X-Men. They done redid X-Men how many times with women? They done did it with how many teams X-Men we done had? The books haven't gone anywhere. They haven't changed the push on them.
The silence of Al.
I'm just saying. All new X-Men ran.
What you got? What you got there? What's that book that you got? Al, put that hanging up again. Excalibur.
Excalibur.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all. We'll deal with this off the air because this is gonna be lively. We're gonna move on. Disney Plus news. Moon Knight and the Savage She-Hulk on deck. Now, for those who follow us on our Instagram page, I uploaded the video from last week's show where Al predicted this. We've been telling y'all Moon Knight was lurking. Did not expect I'd see it on the Disney Plus. That took me by surprise. The Savage She-Hulk was something that we talked about last week.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody seen what Savage She-Hulk is going for on eBay? A 9.8 grade.
I got a chance to see it firsthand, man. At WizardCon, I saw a dude and he was bagging one up. I said, man, just for giggles. I said, man, how much you want for that? And it was not a 9.8 by no means. It was raw. Did like it had some spine stretch. He let me take a look at it. I said, yeah, how much you want for that, man? $500.
What?
Yeah, it's selling. That book is selling. Bids $500.
When you said it wasn't a high grade, tell me it was graded. Period, not raw.
No, I say raw.
Raw.
Man.
Oh my God, yeah, no.
Raw.
That's insane.
That is insane. Can't work with that. In the membrane. Savage She-Hulk. There was a book 3 years ago when we first started doing this show. We saw those books everywhere.
Was that the only book he had?
No, yeah.
That was a book that you would get. I mean, they were giving them away. $15, $10. I think every time each one of y'all, we've all been to a store, we saw that book.
Well, yeah.
I have that book. I think Larry might have that book. Al got that book. Me and Al got 9.8s for nothing, for little or nothing.
I paid right under $40 for mine.
Yeah, I think I paid 30, maybe 25 or 30 for mine. And we were telling, see, this is
I paid
why
zero.
zero.
I didn't want it. I didn't want it. I'm just saying.
Zero. But this is a book. This is a book that we kept saying they could probably Savage She-Hulk. We know Moon Knight's coming. We don't know how Moon Knight's coming.
500 raw.
Yeah.
Raw, bro.
Yeah.
Was he selling everything out of crates, so he had no long boxes?
Now, look, in to kind of go what you're saying. This is the same dude that if you buy 10 books, you get 20 free.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah, you buy 10 books, you get 20 free.
How much did those 10 books cost?
Get $3 a piece.
Hey, though, that ain't bad though.
No,
I cleaned up.
Hey, to me, that means he had that one
Yeah,
book.
don't file them books, Larry. Don't you file them books? We gotta see them Hall books. Don't you file them books?
Yes, sir.
We want to see these books.
I imagine you didn't say nothing about that. I would have shot you some bread for some Batman books then.
All right, so let's get down to business. All right, let's get down to business, y'all. Moon Knight. What are your thoughts on what Disney's gonna do with this? This is since it's on Disney Plus, is this gonna be a serious tone or is this gonna be a cartoon? What I mean, I would hate for it to be a cartoon. I mean, I really.
Man, I mean, I think it could be live action, but it can't be what you want Mark Spector to be. They have to put that, like X said a while back, they have to put that like on Hulu.
Right.
Or something like that, man. But to say it's gonna be on Disney Plus, it almost leads me to think it's gonna be animation.
But here's the thing, though, not to cut you off, but just by them saying this on Disney Plus doesn't necessarily mean that it won't be on Hulu, because they own that too, basically. You know what I'm saying? If they bundling all of those things together for $13 a month, they could just call it Disney Plus, because that's all that falls under everything that they own and their streaming services. So it may still end up being on Hulu.
Yeah, but it has to be, for them to do Moon Knight right, it has to be dark.
Yeah, I mean, Moon Knight's a conflicted man.
It has to be darker than Daredevil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it really does. Which is why it took me by surprise that they put it on that platform and not in the theater. But like Larry said, it would take 5 movies to get that situated.
Mm-hmm. You got to flesh him out, man. You can't just. Don't get me wrong. You probably could do it in 2 hours, man, but it'll be a rush 2 hours.
It'll be impossible though. Look at how much is still left on the table with 3 movies for Iron Man, 3 movies for Captain America. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna bring up Thor, but you know what I'm saying? They haven't even touched on everything with them in 3 movies. So let alone try to make that into the MCU. You know, they'll be in phase 20 by the time they get his story out there.
But you know, the MCU would probably twist and flip it the way they want to flip it, just like they did with those characters. Yeah. You know, they would probably put it in a way that it would shorten the span and do something totally different than what the comics did.
I hope not.
I mean,
and then we got to figure out what Moon Knight they're gonna pull, which series that they're gonna pull from.
Right.
I mean, if it's a cartoon, you better get Scotty Young to draw it.
I mean, but it's all dark. Either way, it's all of them dark.
I mean, everything on Disney Plus can't be kid related. I mean, come on, like Moon Knight, from the Moon Knight stories that I've read, that dude's, I mean, he's a schizophrenic with multiple personalities and something like that.
Here's the thing. We forget that Disney also bring out Pixar movies, and Pixar movies are not for kids. Pixar movies got a lot of hidden innuendos on them. You know, I mean, it ain't as bad as Shrek, where they were just throwing it at you, but it's a lot of stuff in Pixar movies that's for us. You know what I mean?
Bad as Nickelodeon, that they the one they throw it at you, man.
Hey, man, we didn't notice it when we were little
kids, right?
That's probably why our parents looked a little crazy when they walked in and heard a certain thing.
Hey, Hipper.
Doug.
Hey, funny.
Yeah. You killer tofu. Yeah, I could resist it. I could resist it.
The greatest soundtrack that never happened.
Go ahead, Al.
I think what we're gonna expect. I think what what's gonna happen with I think what's gonna happen with Disney Plus, man, and if it happens, it's gonna be a novel idea. I mean, you just mentioned A Force a little while ago. She-Hulk was a member of A Force. I think the shows on Disney Plus are gonna be definitely. I mean, we talked about this before, but I think they're definitely gonna intertwine with the MCU from this point forward. I think that whatever we see, what we hope when Netflix had Luke Cage and Iron Fist and Jessica Jones, I think we'll actually see a true representation of they're all connected with the Disney Plus service. If they're planning on doing an A-Force, I doubt very seriously that She-Hulk is not going to be in that movie. So I think that they are going to allow for those movies and the TV shows to intertwine, which in my opinion, if they do that, then we could possibly see if, and I don't think everything on Disney Plus regarding Marvel is going to be animated. I just can't see it. But with that being said, if Moon Knight is live action along with She-Hulk, I believe there's a 10 to 10 chance that we're going to see them in some point or another in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So,
Oh yeah, they had already said that, man. They said that with if I'm not overstepping my boundaries there with.
No, you fine.
They said Miss Marvel. They had already said that, yeah, she's gonna have a show, but she's also gonna have a movie as well, and it's gonna stem from what they build on Disney.
That's how that should be done.
right.
That's exactly how it should be done. Like what they tried to do with Agents of Shield is how they should do with these shows on Disney Plus. Because Agents of Shield first 3 seasons were leading straight up into the next Avengers movies or any other MCU movies. Everything after that, though, it was Coulson's still alive somehow.
All right, let's go. Move on here. Mortal Kombat that movie is shaping up. Ooh, yeah, finally we get a Mortal Kombat movie worth a damn. It looks like. I mean, James Wan and the crew, they're pulling out all the stops, man. X, I know you're excited, man. I mean, Scorpion, they got a great Scorpion. Of course, we talked about Shane Tsung earlier. Fun fact, tell them who Shane Tsung is in this movie, man. For those who don't know, our comically inclined viewers.
Shang Tsung is the what was his name in Dark Knight? He was the TV.
He was the accountant.
Yeah, he was I'm good with calculation. He was that guy. Oh man, what was his name?
Oh, I almost called it. It just slipped.
Chan?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Is it Chan? I think. But
Something
yeah,
like
the nerdy guy, him, who got burnt on top of all the money.
He'll.
He's the one that's playing Shang Tsung.
I know a squealer when I see one.
Right.
He's a squealer. Batman will come find you, and it will make you squeal. Yeah. Hey, fellas, so what's y'all thoughts, man? I think Mortal Kombat. This is a movie I am amped up for, man.
I've never been a Mortal Kombat fan, so I hadn't really.
Man, kick him off the show. Kick him off the show.
I've never been a Mortal Kombat fan.
Oh my goodness.
Nah.
Oh my Lord! If you would have said you weren't a fan of Annihilation, I would give you that. Everybody agree with you on that.
We'll deal with Larry off air. Al, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. As it stands, the cast is shaping up to be pretty good. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in the title, the Ludi Lin, isn't he connected to the Master Kung Fu movie too? The guy that's supposed to be playing Liu Kang?
He was.
He was? Okay.
I'm heading over here to look now. You can go ahead. I'm gonna take a
look. I know you in talks with Marvel around that time that they dropped the information with
Donnie Yen.
Yeah, with Donnie Yen.
Yeah.
So they haven't really said anything because casting for Shang-Chi has been very tight-lipped. So
you remember when I said that on the show? I was kind of worried because all of a sudden they just kind of stopped talking about them, and now we see him, like this guy, attached to Mortal Kombat. and we still ain't seen nothing else about down the end with that. So that's why I said I was kind of scared, but it may be conflict in scheduling right now.
Yeah, I mean either that or they're really trying to keep that Master Kung Fu movie under wraps because I mean from what I understand, they haven't really announced any definites for anybody as far as casting for Master Kung Fu. So he may still be involved. Who knows? But I think hopefully, man, if they stay true to form, I'm gonna use that line that Chris Tucker used in Rush Hour 2 when the dude fell and he said he ain't gonna be in Rush Hour 3. It's gonna be a few characters from Mortal Kombat that ain't gonna make it to Mortal Kombat 2 if it's gonna be a sequel and if they're gonna be true to the game, because you know the quote big and small, somebody got to die.
All right, Master P, true to the game.
Yeah, I use true.
No Limit Soldier,
Master P, and big and small. That's what's up.
Sweet. Well, this is I mean, I'm going down the list, man. I'm sitting here looking. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be a pretty solid deal, man. So we'll see how this pans out. We'll go ahead and talk about the Star Wars trailer.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I just want to say this. I'm mad that it took this long for them to do this because they had a perfect Mortal Kombat in their web series. They had it right there. And all they had to do was pick it up and make it a movie.
That's gonna go down in the annals of one of the greatest fan-made trailers ever known to man.
Like Rebirth and Legacy, which ended up being the series from that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was Mortal Kombat for us. Now I have high hopes for this movie because I like the direction that they're going. Even the big-headed chick that's playing Sonya Blade, kudos, because I seen that other movie, she was good. Right now, the only thing that I'm really questionable about on this is the guy that's playing Jax, because he's Guardian in Supergirl.
We gotta get him on a weight plan.
Not really.
Well, I hadn't watched Supergirl, so I wouldn't know.
I mean, you gotta think about it though. He ain't got to be the most jacked out there. He just gotta get his arms ripped off, and then they put them cybernetic arms on there. He'll be all right.
I mean, he'll run the Quan Chi out the gate. And they'll fix that.
I haven't seen his name attached to it yet.
You probably won't get Quan Chi in the first one.
Hey man, I need Liu Kang. That's all I need. Not Liu Kang. Kung Lao. I'm sorry, Kung Lao.
You'll probably get. I think Kung Lao gonna come down the pipe.
I don't need the old man Kung Lao that was the grandfather of Liu Kang like they did in the first Mortal Kombat movie. I need Kung Lao.
Yeah, we'll probably get Kung Lao on this, man. We'll probably get Kung Lao. I won't be surprised if we didn't get Fujin and Kung Lao on this.
That'll be dope.
I mean, it makes sense.
Richo. I need him throwing up and farting all over the screen, man.
They might put meat in there.
Why?
I'll just be facetious, man.
How you think they're gonna do Goro if they put him in there?
A CGI.
I mean, he was CGI in the first one, and he looked horrible.
They don't get the Big Show and put some prosthetic arms on his side.
They might get what's his name? What's the dude? He's always a bad guy. The swole cat from wrestling, the bald headed dude.
Nathan Jones. No.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh man, please.
He's the stature. Yeah, I hate to say this, but if it's a movie full of Asians, he ain't got to be number like 6'5". Just saying. Because what's his name? Butter that's playing Liu Kang ain't that tall. I said, y'all, you can watch him in the Power Ranger movie. He the Black Ranger. He was that.
All right, Larry, let me go ahead and talk about the Star Wars. Everybody's seen the Star Wars trailer. I take it everybody's seen the Star Wars trailer. Thoughts on the trailer, y'all? Any thoughts? I think that I just was amped up by that last scene, which therefore somebody in our pop culture buddies group that we're all on Facebook said that has to be a dream sequence, which I was kind of inclined to believe that. But that's crazy if for that to go down the way it did. So and like you said, we talked about this earlier today, is that the direction that this movie, J.J. Abrams doing this, is you already know it's going to be pretty good. So, thoughts on the little trailer? Need to see more.
Once again, man, I'm not a Star Wars fan either, so y'all got.
God.
Don't worry, we got something for you, Larry. Just hold tight. We got something.
Man, I need more of this movie, not everything, not 30, 40 years leading up to this movie. I don't need a trailer with that. I already know what's going on. I need something showing me more about this movie because the way they ended it kind of made me like, well, all the other stuff was irrelevant then. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I need more.
Al?
And if I don't see my boy in this movie, don't end this trailer without having him in it.
Who, Luke?
No,
Boba Fett.
Darth Maul, because he's not dead.
Well, she had his lightsaber.
It was definitely modified.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm still salty over the fact that they killed Luke Skywalker in the last one, supposedly.
And you talking about the rise of Skywalker?
I ain't feeling it, man.
It's only one left.
But I'm saying though, why?
That's what I'm talking about. Like, it's the rise of Skywalker, but there's only one Skywalker. With him and Rey gonna have a kid, she gonna end up turning bad, just like Anakin did.
I gotta see more, man. Because as of right now, I'm not going to the movies to see this. I mean, like I said, man, I tried to give the second movie an honest, like unbiased approach, and I feel like that movie failed me and a whole lot of other people. And it could have been so much more that they could have done to lead up to a grand finale for this third movie. But I think honestly, there's a lot of with them bringing J.J. Abrams back on the scene. I think they were doing a lot of damage control to what happened in the second movie. And I think they are going to attempt to try to right the wrongs that the second movie caused. But I mean, that movie is gonna have to be like, it's gonna have to be of Rogue One proportions, in my opinion, because Rogue One still, for all the modern Star Wars movies that have come out, is still to me the best one that they've done. But it's gonna have to really, really, really shine. I gotta see some reviews. I gotta hear some of my peers, man, that movie on point, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going by no critics, no Rotten Tomatoes. I gotta hear it straight from the horse's mouth, because that last movie, man, I was thoroughly disappointed at the end.
Me to the end.
Yeah.
They had me until the end. At the end, that's when they really lost me. I was like, no, I'm done.
Like I said, man, when they killed Luke Skywalker and the way that they killed him was just so dumb. And then when I started thinking about how this man's supposed to be like, he's a quote unquote, up until Rey and what's his face come on the scene, Kylo Ren, he's supposed to be quote unquote last Jedi in the galaxy. This dude's supposed to be the Beyonder. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude's supposed to be able to just snap his finger like Thanos and just tear up Earth. But he running.
He too emotional for me, man.
To me, it just. But he had all this time, and that's
he's so emotionally unbalanced. It makes no sense to me.
It did make sense. He was supposed to be one with the universe and with the Force. But hey, not going off on no tangent. I gotta see more. I gotta see more for real. Like, I could go by that trailer.
If Rey ends up being stronger than him with literally no training, because I don't consider that little time she spent with Luke training.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
He didn't do nothing to read.
Right, and suck on that thing titty. Get that blue milk.
Yeah,
that was it.
That was it.
Now, when it was time for him to do what he had to do, he did it. But from a distance, as it played out, I know one thing: it can't be any worse than Solo. That movie was terrible.
But now you're going to acknowledge that movie on this panel. And speaking, all right, so that's a perfect segue.
Oh, man.
That's a perfect segue. Al, this is something I had here for you tonight. I thought you might like this. Tony Schiavone signs AEW contract, and Ric Flair claims that this is the greatest time to be a wrestler since the Monday Night Wars. Now, for everybody who know, we don't talk a whole lot of wrestling on this panel, but this is something that we probably gonna start doing more of with AEW getting ready to start up in next month actually. And this is something that I think you brought it up, or either TC brought this up in combo, is that they should bring in somebody like Tony Schiavone. And what did they go do? Brought in Tony Schiavone. Now what some people are mad about with this is that there a lot of people complaining about the 3-person commentary team, which I got a gripe with that. Because in WCW there was 3 people consistently for years. And I never saw it as a problem.
Tony Schiavone, Mike Tenay, Bobby Heenan, or
Bobby Heenan,
Mongo.
Yeah, I mean there was always a 3-man.
Dusty Rhodes, yeah.
A Dusty Rhodes, yeah. It was always a 3-person commentary team back in the night. Now WWF, I think it was
2,
except on the pay-per-view. I think it was 2 except on the pay-per-view.
What was Ross? Who was Ross with?
Jerry Lawler?
No, I'm saying like who was he with?
Both WCW and WWF.
Because I was gonna say I thought Ross was with Tony for a long time.
He was.
Yeah, he was at WCW for a while, and then he fell out with Bischoff, and he ended up going to WWF.
That's another name right there, Bischoff.
Yeah, I mean that's somebody. I mean the Bischoff getting there with power control in AEW. No, we don't need that. But,
no, I'm just saying he was one of the in rotation of the 3
commentary. They got you. Yeah. Al, what's your thoughts on that, brother?
So let me ask you this: is Jim Ross still there doing commentary? Because I ain't seen it in a minute. So it'll be Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross, and who else?
Let me go see. Let's see who the 3rd person is.
Yeah, for that they need to go and bring Mike Tenay in. Shoot.
I mean, Mike Tenay would fit
y'all.
well. Okay, but it would fit well. Oh, it's Excalibur.
Who?
Probably one of the wrestlers they got over there. Man. I mean, you said who is Excalibur? You know that group that's in the Marvel comics.
No, I didn't count Britain. Sorry.
Yeah, my 13.
I gotta see, because it's been years since Mike Tenay. I mean, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross have done commentary.
I think Mike Tenay is under contract with TNA though.
TNA still around?
Yeah, unfortunately.
He said, unfortunately.
Dang. I mean, it's good to see him back. I mean, Tony Schiavone can get a little bit like, unless he's mellowed out, because back in the day they used to call him Tony Shield Schiavone. I mean, when he was actually like level-headed, I enjoyed his commentary because I mean he was that commentator. Because you always got the commentator that's gonna call the match, and you got that commentator that's gonna embellish and add a little heel factor to it. And then if you got a 3-man commentating booth, you're gonna always have the one that's gonna be indifferent. They're gonna be like right down the middle. So I can see Jim Ross actually calling the shots, the Gordon Solis style, commentating that he normally does. And then Tony Schiavone could be that one that's shilling, Goldberg, that type of thing. So even though Jim Ross could do that too, but it's Excalibur, I gotta watch it. Has it started on TNT yet?
Next month.
No, it starts next month. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think it's in like 3 weeks. Let me get a date for you right quick. Let me double check it.
I've been watching like clips of various because I follow them on YouTube, and I've been watching clips and stuff. And normally I just watch them.
October 2nd. October 2nd.
For anybody who's watching the show who doesn't know that wrestling is not real, I'm going to ruin it.
It's still real, damn it.
But
It's still real.
I like AEW and I like them so far. They got to work some of the stuff that don't get me wrong, they got the high flying moves, but sometimes when they were doing the punches and kicks, you can overly tell that they weren't connected, on a lot of stuff. So I think they just got to learn how to sell stuff a bit better. But other than that, man, I like the presentation. I like the theatrics. As far as the commentating, man, I was always a Bobby Brain Heenan, Vince McMahon, Macho Man person myself. But Tony Schiavone, I wasn't a WCW guy, so that's why I didn't get up on Schiavone. But of course, Jim Ross always brings it, and I don't know who this Excalibur guy is. So I mean,
nobody knows. Well, nobody knows who Excalibur is. I personally, man, I am elated. I couldn't Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross for the first time in 30 years, almost 30 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I hadn't heard them two commentating since like we talking like Battle Bowl or Lethal Lottery.
I think that was around the time where your boy Triple H was still in WCW as Terrorizing.
Terrorizing.
Yeah, that was his name, Terrorizing.
Terrorizing. RYZING or something like that.
Yeah.
TRRA.
RIZ.
Terrorizing.
But I mean, it'll be great to see those two and to hear those two back on the booth. I mean, Tony Schiavone is gonna wipe the floor with Michael Cole, man. Michael Cole, man, it's trash. I'm talking trash.
Todd Phillips back with WWF.
You know, he actually works for the New York Yankees, man. Why y'all joking?
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually worked for the New York Yankees.
When Jonathan Coachman's supposed to be going back to the WWE?
Who?
Jonathan Coachman.
No, I don't know, man. I don't know what the coach doing, man. Matter of fact, I think he's over there. I mean, I don't watch it, so I don't watch WWF, so I don't know. I think he's still over there. I mean, if anybody's in here watch WWF, y'all can tell us whether or not he in there, but I really don't know. All right, Larry, this last segment is for you, brother. Tell us all about Wizard World, man. You know.
Oh man, it was different. It was a huge con, man, and like I said, they expected 70 to 90,000 people over a 3-day span to step in, but I saw some crazy stuff. Like I never saw so many amazing fantasies in my life. Like down here, we were amazed when we saw one, and up there I saw a case full of amazing fantasy 15s. All 9.2, 9.6. Didn't see anything less than a 7.5. And dude wanted anywhere from 500. Well, I say start the low number. He wanted anywhere from 50,000 to 5. Starting at the 7.5 going up. I saw Action Comics #1 at a 9.4.
This man had $1 million worth of books.
$1 million worth of books, easy.
$1 million worth of books.
Yep, in one case. Anything you wanted was there. It was a lot of cosplay. Like I say, it was huge, man. But it was a good experience. I would love to try to get us, man, to San Diego. If we can get to San Diego, I said let's do it. We need to start right now, though. Right.
Yeah, you talking about some loot there, buddy.
But yeah, man, it was definitely experience, man. Like I said, man, my sister said next year, man, we can all go up there, and if they have it again next year, man, we have somewhere to stay. We can go. We can all see it. It's definitely an all day event. We stayed at Atlanta Comic Con all. You need to be there from open, and you would definitely be there to close. It was 70% vendors and comic vendors, and maybe 30% action figures and everything else. But I think one of the days Ric Flair was supposed to be there. One of these days, was it? It might have been Saturday. That's the day they wanted it. It was $70 to get in, so it was a little pricey to get in. But I think Ric Flair was supposed to be there that day. The guy from the Boys,
You see that slab? I mean the flab.
But the guy from the Boys was there. The Benny the Butcher, Hugh was there. Trying to think. Your boy was there again from Batman.
Conroy.
Yep, Conroy was there. Yeah, they had a whole slew of.
Man, you had Dread there too.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Hey, so let me ask you this, Larry. Based on the cons that we've all attended together and everything, and you separate, how would you compare the prices of the books in that area compared to the prices of the books down here in the South?
Oh, they were more than fair. I showed Matt a Blade comic that he said, man, was super rare that they only gave out. I guess the screen of the first movie, and it was on like $10.
You mean like the first Blade movie?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Huh. Yeah. Now, like I say, other than that outrageous stuff, because I asked the dude, I said, man, are you planning on selling this stuff? I say, because I don't know nobody who wants to drop $500,000. I mean, Will your bank even let you do that through a debit card, man? Like,
You gotta call the bank before you even
Mhm.
Yeah.
do that.
so I mean, I think he was more there just to show what he had, but he had first everything, man. From if you think of, I didn't believe like some comic books could get to, and I showed him. He was like, wow. But yeah, they had your standard
Bro,
$2
you finna have to
bin,
bring me a
$5 bin.
cashier check for that.
Yeah, but you had your $2 bins, your $5 bins, your, like I say, your buy 10 get 20 free. Shout out to my man Dave. Dave was there. Like I say, man, I enjoyed it.
Sweet, man.
I'm
Go
off.
ahead.
Personally, I'm off going as long as we don't be in the same place where Juicy Smoley was up there. But
I think we'd be better out trying to go to New York or San Diego.
You know what I'm talking about, Larry?
Yeah,
You heard me?
So what?
I think we'll be better out trying to go to New York Comic Con before we go to San Diego Comic
Hey,
Con.
but you know what though? We got to get to the Comic Con that Matt was talking about in Alabama, because Chris Claremont is gonna be there, man. So I want us to go to that one for
I'm
real.
gonna see if he can drop me some feet.
Oh yeah, he'll drop some feet.
All right.
Good looking feet.
All right, fellas.
The writer, I'm sorry, Jim Lee.
Oh yeah. You're right. You're right.
All right, fellas. It's that time to roll them out. We're gonna let Larry roll out first, man, because he went to WizardCon. I want to see what he
I've
got.
cataloged everything, man. But like I said, what I bought from Dave, I didn't get too much, man. Like I say, I had my brother-in-law with me, so I really couldn't spend as much time as I would have liked because he's not really into the hobby like that. So I didn't really want to spend too much time, man, in there. But like I said, that would have been one of those things you need to be there from 10 a.m. to go through all the vendors and really go through and see who had what for sale and who had the best deals on certain stuff. Like I got Thor #1 for $10. But that's from Dave.
Which volume?
The Jane Foster one.
It's Jane Foster. And I got what Hawkeye versus Deadpool 0 was the first true appearance or cameo appearance of Spider-Gwen and Jane Foster's Thor. What else did I get? I got a whole Civil War set, man, of the variants for like $50.
What?
Yeah, all 7 variants had like for $50.
Oh, I thought it was more than 7.
Nah, it's just 7 though.
It's Civil War or Civil War 2?
Nah, Civil War, the original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Michael Turner variants.
Did Mark Millar write that?
I think he had something to do with it, yeah. And I picked up a lot of the Miss Marvel, like I said, in the 10 for 20. I think I bought like 10. I just picked 10 random books, like 10 She-Hulk books, and the other 20 were like a Miss Marvel run.
Sweet. All right. Well,
They were free though.
I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead here and fire up the.
Hey man, that ain't cool, man. You just made your block bigger than everybody else's.
The whole night, everybody been equal. As soon as we got to his, because we about to see some. Nah, we go ahead. We're gonna see some stuff.
Yeah, he about to serve them collard greens.
Oh yeah,
right. No, go switch it back.
So
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
You got it. We done
it turned into Matt and friends all of a sudden.
Right.
All right, fellas. All right. This came in the mail today. Captain Marvel. I just
He the risen, we everybody else.
Captain Marvel 8, the Star variant.
Hey, that cape looked awfully Shazamish to me.
It did look Shazamish, didn't it? Next up is X-Men Adventures #6. I did make a trip through to Second in Charge yesterday while I was in Alabama, and I picked up a few things. X-Men Adventures #6. Then it's the first time they met in the cartoon comic universe. Marvel Knights #1. Today I picked up Batman Superman #1. First appearance of Evil Shazam. Miles Morales, Absolute Carnage, Miles Morales, number 1. Might want to go pick this up today. Go grab that. If you see one. I actually picked this up today while I was at the store as well. It is Aranya, the Heart of the Spider, number 1. Shout out to Fanboy Comics. Made a stop by Fanboy today as well, and I picked up Captain America 354.
U.S. agent.
U.S. John Cena. Also from Fanboy, I picked up Truth, Red, White, and Black, number 1.
Oh my God, he had that.
Oh yeah, he had that when I went.
Yeah.
How much was that?
Right there. So I can show it to you. Right there.
$350.
I want that series. It's like 6 of them, man.
It's probably because it just say 1 on this one, so it doesn't say it's a miniseries. Yep. So I picked that up. Also picked up Wolverine 173.
Man, y'all hit a Predator.
Yeah, I do.
Giant Size Supervillain Team Up, number 1. And people say, "Oh well, you can't find any good deals, man." You know, that's how much I paid for it. $2.25. $2.25. You gotta look. I'm telling you, Second and Charles, man, is one of those spots. Also, while I was there yesterday, go back again. U.S. Agent, first solo series, $2.25.
By them boots, man.
Larry, digging through the boxes, and I found Blade 2, which is the other one that you could get at the movie theater. And look at how much I paid for that. $1.25.
Dig through the bins.
Look in them bins, man. Speaking of looking in the bins, today I got the Wonder Woman 184, Adam Hughes. Look in the bin. $22. Books going for over $100 on eBay. Also, Second and Charles is coming through and again in the clutch. King Size Annual, Marvel Team Up, Spider-Man and the X-Men, number 1. $2.25.
Man, anybody remember that hard video game, man? Spider-Man, X-Men, Arcade Revenge on Super Nintendo?
Oh man,
Yes.
good luck on that storm stage. Amazing Spider-Girl 0.
That's a good pickup.
The Amazing Spider-Girl number 1. The Powers of X 2 secret variant. And I picked this up not even knowing about this today. But I just picked it up because I saw it was A-Force number 1 variant.
Where you pick that up from?
Second and Charles for
Oh, you said today. That's what threw me off.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
$1. This is how we roll in the Continental Hall Roundtable discussion. From our last trip to the Book Nook, picked up Archie 660.
Them shorts.
Just before I we came on the air today, opened this up. She-Hulk, the Savage She-Hulk number 25, the last issue. Larry, this is going to be coming over to you to get slabbed now. Shout out to Origin Story. Blade, the Vampire Hunter, number 3. Blade, the Vampire Hunter, number 7. Black Widow number 3,
Yeah.
$2.
Yep.
Doctor Doom and the Sinister Red Skull superhero villain team up number 11, $7. $7. From over at Second and Charles, Venom First Host number 3, $3.99.
You can get the variant.
And my no, they didn't have the variant, man. That's the only one they had. And my big pickup while I was at Second and Charles, the Century number 1.
Yeah, you finally got it, huh?
Yep.
How much you pay?
The whole set for $50.
You got the whole set?
Whole set.
That's $10 a book. It was $5, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That ain't bad at all, man, because that's pushing good $7,500 on eBay.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yep. So I'll be sending this up, bringing this your way to get slapped too, brother Larry. So we'll begin with you in the next few days. So that's it, man. I mean, I got more, but I'm not gonna go through stuff. Also, well, I guess I will say I did get the pretty violent variant, which is pretty violent. Al, did you get that book in your pool? Did you pull that? You did get that in your pool?
Yeah, I got it.
So that's it on my end. And I think I showed you that. I showed you that one.
Yep.
All right, Alice, the floor is yours, buddy.
Last show I didn't have nothing, and today I got too much. So I'm only gonna go through some of this stuff. Shout out to Fanboys. We went over there after we left Comics Plus today, and I just bought some stuff, fillers. I'm an old school Image head. I like a lot of the stuff from back in the day. Image Comics had some crossovers with Marvel back in the day. And I can't find the other book, but
Wolverine and Bedrock.
Yeah, I got that one. Wolverine and Bedrock, and then they did also Generation X and Gen 13.
I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, matter of fact, they did 2 of them because it was Generation X and Gen 13 and Gen 13 and Generation X. Marvel did one and Image did the other. So got those. Highly underrated book right here. Stormwatch. This was one of Jim Lee's books when his camera confusing me. But Stormwatch was one of them books that Jim Lee started back when they formed Image. This is a real open. DC does something with that book. Avengers Next. A couple back issues that I needed. This falls in line with the Spider Girl that Matt bought because she's a part of that Marvel Next that Disney did. And I got these from Fanboys too. Universe X, Alex Ross art. I'm short a couple of issues before I had that full run. X Factor 78. That puts me like three books short of having that full first run. Some Excalibur back issues. So I'm like 10 issues, something like that, short of having that full run. One of my favorite Milestone characters, Icon. Yeah, these doggone cameras confusing me. Anyway, on to my new stuff.
Look at this guy.
Man, why you stealing my shine, man?
Right.
Anyway, Batman Who Laughs on number 7. This was the end of the series, so it was pretty good.
I mean, Batman laughing on the cover, man.
Yeah, finally picked these up, Larry. House of X, Powers of 10. I got issues 1 through 3 of House of X, and 1 through 2, 1 and 2. Shout out to Origin Story Comics for them holding these for me.
Hey Al.
Uh,
Why do y'all say Powers of 10 instead of Powers of X?
That's actually how it's supposed to be. I didn't know. I thought it was Powers of X, but it's actually Powers of 10. X stand for 10. So I mean, I hadn't read that.
It's because of how the story actually goes in the book. It starts at like year 1, which is like it's like, and then then it multiplies and goes 100 years in the future. Then it multiplies and goes supposed like 1,000 years into the future. So it's supposed to.
So it's always multiplying by 10, basically. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And that was Larry Crocker for this minute. But all right, so I got these just to round out that previous run of Uncanny. This came out before the Powers of the House of X and Powers of 10. I got Pretty Violent, the A cover. Redneck number 22. X Factor 100. I got the red foil cover, so I needed the white cover. This is a hot book on the scene called The White Trees. It's got a lot of buzz. I haven't read this one yet. Marvel Comics presents 7 and 8.
You know the end of that too, right?
I haven't read it yet. X-Men. We'll talk after the show. X-Men 1. X-Men 137. I actually had the original book of this. This is another hot book on the scene. Once and Future. If you can find it, pick it up because this on the. Matter of fact, Matt, this is on a lot of spec books, and it's crazy because I got this from Origin Story up in McDonough. Yeah. This one, my pull list. Clint put this in my pull list and told me that I needed to read it. So, and then the crazy part, this was made by Boom Studios. I don't know if y'all see this, but this came in the actual book, and for the most part, if you don't read confident in the book, Flash 77, 75. One of my favorite DC outings for right now, Deceased. That's the Final Destination cover. That's Deceased number 4. And then I got Deceased, the original A cover. Batman 77. This is the variant B cover. Got this cover price up at Origin. I actually got the A cover at whatchamacallit today, thanks to X. I can't.
Fanboys.
Yeah, Fanboys. Yeah, I can't find it though. It's right here somewhere. But anyway, last couple of books. Picked these up today. House of X number 3. Batman, Superman number 1. My boy Evil Shazam up in this mug. And the last one that I'm gonna show is not an actual book, but it's the movie. My homeboy, you see him back there behind my punching bag. Godzilla, King of the Monsters. I picked this up today, courtesy of the Blue Box, like X talk about, And that's it for me, man. I got a whole bunch of other crap, but I'm sure y'all don't want to see that, so I'm done.
X.
I got a couple that I'm gonna show. They're not major grails, but they're major to me.
That's all that matters, man.
That's all that matters, bro.
Got Nightwing 118. Got the first and second printing. For those that don't know, this is the first time that Jason Todd wore the Nightwing costume. Got this Robin Zero. This is the first time that Dick Grayson assumed the mantle of Batman. We got Batman 416, the introduction of Dick Grayson's Nightwing costume in the Batman comics. We got Batman 467. This is the first appearance of Tim Drake in the new Robin costume. Also have Batman Superman cover A. I was able to pick these up in Origin over the weekend. Compliments to Al and Matt, because I didn't complete my run, but Killer Be Killed 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. So I'm 3 issues shy of finishing that run, which is a great story. But thing is, all of these were 50 cents a piece.
50 cents.
50. And Batman 77 cover A, the one that Al couldn't find just then. This is it right here.
Sweet.
But that is it for what I got right now that I want to show.
All right, sweet. Well, before we go, I wanted to put this banner up. As of today, this is of today. Tomb of Dracula sold
Whoa.
for $85,000.
Incredible. What grade was it?
9.9.
Bro.
9.9?
Yeah, I mean unfathomable.
You could buy a Tesla with that.
Did they breathe on
I
it?
could buy 2 rental properties for that.
That too.
3. I could buy 3, 4.
Almost, yeah.
Hey, you could buy a Popeyes franchise for that.
You buy a Popeye franchise with the sandwiches already there,
Fully cooked.
ready to go for that price, man. That's
with
crazy.
The buns.
I'm telling you, people say, "Oh man, y'all collect comic books, man." Oh, they got it. See now.
Okay.
Once again, I'll show you again for those who say, "Hey man, y'all collect comic books." Yeah, $85,000 for a Tomb of Dracula for a book he probably spent. May only spent $20 on. Never know.
Perfect example, man, of a hobby turning into something, man, that can make you some money.
Yep. Bingo. All right. With that, we'll be releasing a new spec video soon, so be on the lookout for that. Fellas, any parting words before we shut it down tonight?
I'm sure y'all gonna see a bunch of rant clips coming soon.
Yep. I was sitting there writing down the time tonight. I was like, "Yep, put this up." So,
hey, that's what we're here for, man, to entertain.
Right.
Yep. So, with that, everybody, I want to say thanks for watching tonight. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell button. Randy Macho Man, Savage Elbow Drop, that like button. Tell a friend. Tell everyone. Sharing means caring. Thanks for tuning in with us. Thanks for hanging in there with us for these 2 hours here tonight on the Comment Hall and Roundtable discussion. For everybody on the panel, I want to wish you all a good night.